Hey everyone, welcome to your timeless bonus reading. And in this reading, we're going to be looking at what is your next 6-month adventure going to look like. Now, it is a general reading, of course, so it's going to be more of a high-level view just to give you an idea of what's coming your way over the next 6 months. Regardless of when you come across this reading is timeless. If you want more specific information for your life, then I do provide personal readings, and all that information is in the description box below. I also provide to the general public on YouTube my monthly by zodiac sign readings. I also do weekly by zodiac element readings as well. So if you're interested in any of those, there are playlist links at the end of this video, so you can check those out. But for this reading, it is a pick a card, so you have 3 options. The first one is going to be a green hot air balloon. Number 2 is the blue hot air balloon, and number 3 will be the red hot air balloon. I'm going to start with the green hot air balloon now. If you want to jump to one of the others, then the timestamps are in the description box below. So let's jump right in. Okay. All right, all my Taurians, if you chose reading number 1, which is the green hot air balloon, and this is the reading for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off by looking at what energies or you're coming from, like what you've just gone through over a little bit, coming into this 6-month adventure, and kind of what's going on in the first month of the adventure there. So we're going to pull a card here from the Enchanted Map Oracle, just to see what overall message for that is, and then we'll pull some additional cards for clarification. Okay, and one more time. All right, Creator, what do you want those that chose reading number 1 to know about the first month? Okay, nope, not yet. Okay, this one here. And you got goblins, and that's number 5 there. And I'll read from the book here. I know this is a great summary of kind of what you've been through and what you're coming from. So it's good. Don't be afraid of this because it's talking about, it says, fear is an illusion. Choose love today. Forgive yourself and others. So goblins are born when you're wounded and something essential is lost in that experience. So that's where you're coming from. And from that point on, as you forget your wholeness, they remain with you in the shadows. There, they remind you of what brought them into being by mimicking your own voice, tricking you into believing that you're unworthy, victimized, or unlovable. They hold you hostage through low self-worth, self-sabotage, and the feeling that you're lacking what you need. If goblins pay you a visit, know that they represent the shadow of your own self or someone else's, and that they're leading you into a potentially reactive situation. A goblin's card's appearance is an opportunity for growth, however, and a signal that you must love yourself. No human is without flaws, this human character we're living, right? The goblin's message is that you must release resentments and negative self-talk. Within you is the spark of the divine. So ask Spirit to help heal you. Miracles can and do happen. Let go of negativity. So it's perfect for you. I mean, what a great beginning of an adventure. So it's not, a negative thing heading your way. This is just showing you that what you've gone through has brought these goblins, and you probably have been hearing them whisper, feeling that unworthiness, feeling that, low feeling that you have. But this adventure is to help transform that, and so it's good. It's good news. So don't feel down about it because all humans go through this, and this is just a indicator that it's like a flag telling you, okay, you're ready. We're going to move into this, because you wouldn't be getting this if you weren't ready to transform it. So that's a huge plus. We're going to pull some cards here from the Light Seers deck. and just get some confirmation, some validation, or additional information on this particular card here. All right, Creator, what else do you want them to know about that first month there? Oh, okay. Nope, not those. Okay, that one. Those two. And that one. Okay. We'll start with these. So actually they want me to start with this one because this is the star. And that is number 17 there, which does break down to number 8. And these are coming out in August. So, it's definitely a indication that there is hope this month. That's what the star really means. It has a big dose of hope in it. And as this mentioned, you are connected to the divine light, which you can see, this is the divine light. And here's kind of like this umbilical cord that reaches down and is attached to you. So you do have this connection to the higher realm. It talked about in this card about how the human always has fears attached to it. And that's that experience that's here. It talked about unworthiness. And in this realm, we don't even know what worth is because everyone feels worthy. We don't even know what it might feel like to be unworthy, so we don't even know to question that. And that's what's brilliant about this experience that we have as this human character on this planet, is that we get to experience what it might feel like to be unworthy, so that we can understand more fully what worthiness is. So something that's not even measured there had to have something to measure it with, and that's our experiences here. So just know that you're more than this character. We veil ourselves of our worthiness and of our power and of who we really are in order to have this earthly experience of fear. Because without veiling ourselves and forgetting that you're this bright, light, brilliant, powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love, you wouldn't be able to understand what it feels like to be human. So, just know that you are more than these experiences, and that helps you get to that kind of balance. And then you got the Six of Pentacles here, and I really feel like a lot of this worthiness is because of codependency. This, for some reason, this represents to me codependent type of relationships, because it's the awareness that being an enabler is I need to be able to give to be worthy. And these people that are receiving are below me, but that's okay, because that puts me in this power play. Instead of being an equal relationship of give and take of two individuals, it becomes this parent-child, like I am the parent and you are the child, I'm taking care of you, but you will always need me. And that's what at the core of the codependency belief is that I need to be needed. And in order to be needed, I need to make sure you need me. So I need to cut you off from all other incoming energy and supply in order for me to be your only supplier. I want the monopoly. I don't want you to go outside of me to be the one that gives, because I need to feel worthy. And so that becomes this parent-child relationship. But the amazing thing is that is what you've come through. And by the way, when, they keep taking from us, you become resentful. In the beginning, it's like, yes, I am their supply and they can't do without me. And then they're like, oh my God, they won't stop taking from me. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. I have nothing left to give. And then they're going to leave me for some other supplier if I can't keep giving them everything. And so you get resentful. And then usually the person in this position, how awful must that feel, to have someone lowered over us and to feel like a child around them, to feel like we're never enough and that we always have to take from them. And so they end up drifting and going outside usually to find a source of their own identity, their own validation from an outside source that, hey, you're awesome. And that's usually what happens, or at least in my experience, when I was in this person would go outside the relationship because they're feeling low and like they're a child in comparison, and who wants to feel that way. So what happens is you heal and you become this balanced where you both give and receive, and you can kind of see this infinity symbol here, which is the cycle of give and take and give and take. And what's amazing with that is you become equal partners, and then you don't feel like you're all that pressure of having to be someone that you're not, and you get to just to be you. You allow them to just be them. You both give and receive, not take, but give and receive equally. And what a wonderful feeling you have when you're able to give without expectation, right? Well, when we don't receive, we cheat this other person of feeling that wonderful feeling. So receiving is actually a gift for others as well. But when that's in this equal paradigm shift, when it becomes, this upper lower, then that's when it becomes resentful and exhausting. You got the Page of Cups, and this is beautiful because the Cups is all about emotion. See the little heart thing here, where people do the little yay, and you can see all the big burst from the heart there. And this is about seeing a higher love. And the page is kind of like a child in a way, and it's that childish feeling when we're younger, of not knowing any different, that we're loved and we're excited about life, we're full of joy, all these beautiful emotions that come just knowing that we're cared for. And then all the conditioning of society and everything else gets involved to convince us we're unworthy. But this is returning back to that childlike feeling that you are the only child of the creator of all things, and that you can have this relationship and this feeling of abundance, this feeling of lovability, this feeling of lightness and brightness and joy and laughter and peace in your life. And this is all about returning back to that understanding of who you really are, that divine being, because when you connect to your divine being, your higher self, you realize that you are unconditionally loved by the creator of all things, which means there's nothing you can do to lose it, nothing you can do to gain any more of it, because you have it all. And so you sit in that beautiful place, in that eye of the storm. You see all the chaos going around, all those conditions out there of, those fears of not being lovable, and they just swirl around outside in the human world. But you can come back to this eye of the storm and just sit in that peaceful, where even the sun shines down. All this is cloudy and dark out here and stormy, but in here there's this brilliant light that just comes down. There's peace and stillness, and you can watch the chaos without getting involved in it. But there's nothing wrong with getting out into the chaos. We will return out there because, like all humans, we'll see something bright and shiny and go to the edge and go, what's that? And whoosh, whoosh, we'll get sucked out into the storm again and do backflips, in the storm as we get confused and get involved in those extreme emotions of fear and sadness and hatred and resentment and bitterness and all those delicious things we come here to experience. And then we'll be like, wait a minute, I don't have to experience this. I can come back to the center again, to a place of peace whenever I want, until I see the next bright, shiny thing. And it's the ebb and flow of this life, and it's why we come here. So it's a wonderful place to come, that you don't judge the goblins. It's like the goblins actually are here for us, to teach us about who we really are, by showing us and taking on these dark adventures into the storm to show us the opposites of what we are. And then you got the Six of Cups here, and this has to do about looking back at your past. This is your all the cups of emotions that you've experienced all the way back to your childhood. So, it's definitely a month of reflecting back on where these goblins came from. You got the Six of Pentacles, you got the Six of Cups. The Six can be a parent card, can be mother, father, parent. So it could, of course, relate back to your interactions with authority figures growing up and the feelings that you felt and the definitions of yourself that you took on in your earlier years in your childhood. So it's a good time to look at, the goblins in that first month is how you're looking at that. Okay, let's take a quick swig of water here. Thank you. Now we're going to move into the next 2 months that happen after that. And for that, we're going to pull a card here from the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. And just see what the Creator wants you to know about that 2-month period there. All right, Creator, what do you want those that chose reading number 1 to know about the next 2 months? Okay, nope, they want that one there. Okay. This is one that showed itself. So it says, which direction? 64, which breaks down to a 10, which is endings. And then you add the 1 and 0 together, the 10 to get a 1, which is new beginnings. So this is endings and new beginnings. And I'll let you read that there, and I'll read it as soon as I'm able to see it. Just the camera's a little farther away where my old man eyes can't make that out. So it says, you have reached a turning point in your life. Don't be afraid of taking the wrong path. When you recognize the learning to be found at every step in every moment of your journey, you will realize that there is no wrong way, only the infinite gain of your personal growth and evolution. And that's perfect. That goes so well with what you're learning during this time here. And the message that comes in this 2 months is that life happens for you. It doesn't happen to you. So just knowing that all these experiences weren't a punishment. It wasn't out of control. It wasn't this drama train that was going to derail at any time. It was a controlled path that you chose before you came down here on where the train would wind through, up and down, and all through the different worlds and areas, of this giant fear theme park we come down here to experience. And so you're coming to this place where you're facing these goblins, and whatever path you choose, you don't have to fear that there's going to be a wrong one, because you come down here to experience and to grow, and you always will experience and grow, because that's who you are. That is your nature. There's not a perfect path, because we didn't come down here for perfect. That's who you are in the other world. We come down here to experience what it might feel like to have an imperfect path, to make, quote, mistakes, even though there never is a mistake, because every second you're experiencing, and that's what you came down here to do, is to experience. So you're always meeting your goal 100% of the time. I'm coming down here to walk upon the earth, and you're walking. And so, you don't have to fear which direction that you take. You get to make whatever choice you want, and you're free of judgment. We're going to pull some cards here from the Everyday Tarot, just to get some clarification on this 2 months for you as well. All right, Creator, what else do you want them to know about the second 2 months, please? Okay. What else? And I feel this one on the bottom there. Okay, any others? Okay, but they did want that one too. All right. Yep. So you got the Wheel of Fortune, and this is so perfect. Exactly as I was saying, this is like this Wheel of Fortune. This is the map of our destiny, and we choose before we come down here to experience. We choose when we're going to be born, when we're going to leave this human bodysuit, and then there's events in between that we ask to happen, because we know these are the things I want to experience and the things I want to grow through. And so, all these events unfold, and we have that, the Creator Spirit, the Holy Spirit, depending on whatever your faith is, or your beliefs in your higher power. You got angels and guardian angels and spirit guides and loved ones who are on the other side that you knew in this lifetime, your ancestors that you never knew in this lifetime. And you have this just huge posse of beings of unconditional love and light that are here, making all those events unfold for you, not happening to you, but unfolding for you as requested. And this Wheel of Fortune just shows that, the wheel is always turning in our life here, and it's always going. And we're the ones that get to determine how it's going to impact us. Every event is going to happen, and that's going to happen. But what we do with that event is up to us. We get to choose what it means about us, around others, around the world, the emotional impact, the mental impact, the physical impact. We get to choose overall how it impacts us. And so we still have that free will that we deal with that. And so it's like, as the wheel turns, it's like walking on a log in a river, like when they used to do the little, who can stay on the log the longest before falling off. Well, that's kind of how, as circumstances change, we can walk with them, or we can just stay and go pshh, or hold on for dear life until we come back around again. And so we get to choose how that impacts us. So regardless of which direction we take, you get to choose what it means when whatever happens. So you get that power back with that. And that is 10 as well, which 6 and 4 is 10. So very synchronistic there. Yep, and here's Ace of Pentacles. So endings and new beginnings. So exactly as we're talking about, and this is in the external world. Pentacles are, very much an earth element, and so, that is about things changing in the external world. And your physical body. So it's about those changes that are happening exactly as we were talking about there. And then you got the Sun. This is like one of the most abundant, I guess, cards you would call it. It's success, it's movement, it's understanding yourself, and also like with the Sun, it's reminiscence of the Sun sign that you are. And that is about your ego, your character, who you're playing. Here's a child riding a horse, and it holds this wand in this card, which is the magic, your higher self. So this is the balance between your higher self and your lower self, a lot like this star here. You've got the star card, you've got the Sun, and it's, again, reminiscent of the light being that you actually are, capital L-I-G-H-T. You're this being of light, having this experience as a child, moving along this path of this life here. So, you get to know that no matter what path you take, it ends up being victorious. It ends up being exactly what you need, even though it may not have been what your human side of your ego wanted. You'll get what you need for your journey and your experience. And here you go. We got the Queen of Wands. So you got the wand here, all that fire, and the Queen of Wands again is the fire, your spirit, your drive of your life. And with it being the Queen brings in the emotional piece into that as well. I always love the black cat in here because that represents that you are protected. This is the messenger that talks to you. It's like an animal familiar that communicates with you. So it's about connecting to spirit. Like I mentioned before, that you have this support group that's having your life unfold as you had requested it to, you also can communicate with them while you're here in this lifetime. They don't mess with your free will on you making the choices of what everything means, but you get to be able to ask if you want for assistance while you're down here in that human experience. Out of your free will, you can ask and say, hey, Creator, Spirit, any other of that large group of beings of unconditional love and light, hey, I'd like you to come and meddle in my life today. Bring me the experiences that are for my highest experience, for my highest vibration of love, to bring me what I've been looking for. So you can do that on a daily basis. And believe me, they are so willing to communicate with you. They're always talking with you, always talking with you. Yep. And you got the Three of Wands. You got a lot of fire energy here with the wands. And this represents you're ready for that next step to step off into your adventure. You know, it kind of reminds me of this this path here. You're ready to step through and make a choice. And if you're unsure of which choice to make and you're still afraid to make the wrong choice, even though there is no wrong choice, you can ask Spirit again for advice and direction on which way you should go. And it'll be obvious. You know, it's like, I want to go this way or this way. You're going to see that there's 2 votes for this way. And so it's going to be an obvious decision for you. When you ask, you're going to get the signs, you're going to get the answers to questions. And if you're not sure yet which one to make, then that means you don't have all the information you need. And if you're forced to make a decision, it's like, well, I need an answer now, yes or no. Then if you don't have that strong yes, then the answer is no. And sometimes you'll see it, and I always mention this when I say that, is sometimes when people are pressuring you to get a yes, when you go, well then, if I have to make a decision right now, then no. Well, wait. Before you make an ultimate decision, just take a few more days, you know? So sometimes that's the way it happens here. But I love, you know, this, for these 2 months then, it's about, you're going to have these choices on what you're going to let go and what you're going to move to, and there's no wrong decision. You get to decide what you want for you, and if you want extra validation and support, you have this bat phone you can call to talk to the higher realms and ask them for guidance. And sometimes we're so noisy in all our fears. You know, I also like this card about sometimes just really it is getting out in nature and getting away from everything, so you don't have to have all that noise in your head, and that's where you can hear the answers and see things more clearly. All right, and then next we're going to move into the next 2 months. So that's month 1, 2 months, and then the next 2 months. And for this, we're going to pull a card from these energy oracle cards and see what the Creator wants you to know about the next 2 months. And one more time. Creator, what do you want them to know about the next 2 months for reading number 1, please? Okay, there we go. And you got number 36, and you got the second chakra, Archangel Ariel. And the second chakra is the sacral chakra, which is the orange one. And for me, what that means is, you know, the root chakra is how we interact with the world in large groups. The sacral chakra is how we interact with the other one. So one other individual in a one-on-one relationship. And then the solar plexus is how we deal with ourselves. So this one is how you deal with others. And so I really feel that this is going to be about how other people are coming into your life, and how you, after learning about yourself here, about looking at those directions and your boundaries, and how you're moving forward, this is how it impacts and influences those relationships that you have. And it could be, if this had to do with parental or these past relationships, these could be those individuals returning into your life, or you're changing relationship with them. Because now that you're able to see things from a different perspective, you're able to feel safe in yourself, knowing that you get to decide what anything means about you. No matter what these people do to you, you get to decide what it means, and you get to allow what you want in your life or not, and they don't have control over that. And this is about intimacy and creativity. So the second chakra vibrates in the energy of the beautiful angel Ariel. She sends a bright orange energy promoting inspired creativity and greater comfort with intimacy. When this card appears upright, it's urging you to get creative. Let yourself reach out into unexplored areas of self-expression and new projects that may have a more creative approach. So this is also a time when the energies of closeness with others and nurturing yourself can flow more freely. You can now open yourself to the emotional intimacy that may be coming your way. So nurture yourself and be ready to receive the affection and camaraderie of the resonant souls around you. So that doesn't, necessarily mean romantic or not. It can be, of course, family, friendships, and it can be romantic partner, etc. But just know that this is the opening because of this work that you've done and the information and awareness that you've gleaned. You're able to apply it, and you're feeling safe and opening up. And we're also going to pull some additional cards here from the Everyday Tarot. And we'll see what else comes through for you for those 2 months. All right, Creator, what else do you want them to know? Sorry, that one, that one. Okay, any others? Okay, any others? Last pass. Okay. And that one, okay. So you got the King of Pentacles, and this is beautiful for this 2 months because the King of Pentacles is all about feeling comfortable in your physical environment, feeling like you've got this. It's about, this energy of the king, whether you're male or female or however you identify, it's about feeling like you understand external relationships, you understand, abundance, career, money, physical world stuff. So you just really feel like this comfortable with your world during these 2 months. Yep, and then you've got the Tower, and then change happens. Which, don't be afraid of this. What this means is that old ways of thinking, this old tower gets burned down because you're making way for new beliefs and new things. So it is a message for don't fear when these relationships happen, that because you're changing, some people aren't. And some people aren't going to like it. Sometimes you have these the interactions with others, these dynamics with a certain type of relationship. Like maybe it's a relationship where you always gave in to what they wanted, and you always did what they wanted to do, and you were like their doormat. You always were the one that gave up what you wanted for them. You always went out of your way for them. They were everything, like the air that you breathe, right? But as you're changing and you're finding that you have these boundaries and you're like, wait a minute, I want to be able to have the things I want as well. When this codependency changes when you cut off people from being their life support and they're going to have to live on their own. Some people get a little uncomfortable with that, and it's expressed in anger or sadness or rejection of some sort. So don't be afraid that some of those relationships are going to burn down, and you can be okay with that, because really, if someone's not going to love you for you and allow you to be you, and they only wanted you because of the blood that they were living off of, like an energy vampire, your life might actually be more joyful without them in it. So allow that to be, allow it to happen. And then you have the Five of Swords. Swords are all about your mentalities, your thoughts, your beliefs. And the Five of Swords, you can see how this person is leaving because you were victorious, and that's okay. Again, I think this is really a confirmation for this card here, just letting you know that relationships will end, and your beliefs about people will change as well. And it's really going to bring around clarity, because when we have someone on a pedestal, we have this blurred vision of who they are. And they're like, oh my God, but they are so wonderful, and they walk on water, and they're always giving to me. We defend, the receiver of our codependency, even though our friends are going like, they're using you, or, you're giving up everything. You give up everything in your life, your friends, what you want to do. You even move out of state for someone because like, oh, that's where they want to go. Whatever it may be, whether it's going to the movies they want, the restaurants they want, eating the food they want, whatever. It's like, oh yeah, whatever you want. Your mentality changes, and you start to see things more clearly, and don't judge yourself over that, though, because that's part of our process. Five of Swords, 5 number here, goblins. So it allows you to see the goblins that were existing there in your life. And then you got the Page of Pentacles here. So you have the Ace of Pentacles here, which was new beginnings. And Page of Pentacles is also like new beginnings and new changes. Messages coming in from the outside world as well. Like a page is someone that made announcements. So this is announcements of change in the outside world. So that's communication of things that are changing, and that's okay. These new beginnings, again, are for you. They're not happening to you. And so as these things change, you're going to be comfortable with that, knowing that, whatever unfolds like this Wheel of Fortune, that it's designed, it's happening, and whatever happens, you get to decide what it means. Always come back to your power. Here you go, you got the Queen of Swords here. So you had the Queen of Wands in this month, which is about new energy, as well. So, with these changes you make, you're spending so much energy, maintaining these beliefs, that as those change, you have this flood of energy come in. And the Queen of Swords is about, again, mastering your own thoughts. So she holds, of course, this sword. So there's some beliefs that you hold on to, but she has a hand out raised, and it means that she's open to new thoughts and new beliefs coming in. Again, the Queen is about the emotional, feminine aspect of your being, and you can allow those emotions to be and exist. You don't have to judge yourself for what you feel as these emotions come and go and ebb and flow. You get to just see them for what they are. You are going to have fears come up as long as you're a human. There will always be goblins off whispering out from the forest, edge of the forest, and you can let them speak, and you don't have to yell at them telling them to shut up. You can just okay, I hear you, thank you. You allow them to be, but you don't have to act on them. You get to choose, again, what you do with those emotions that come in. Yep, Nine of Cups, beautiful. Cups are emotions. The Nine of Cups is like feeling emotionally fulfilled, feeling like your cup is being filled up. So, whereas before you feel like you're being drained in these codependencies, in this one you feel like your cup is being filled up, and as you're being filled up, you allow others to have the overflow. They don't get to plug in down below and suck energy out of you. You get to be full and whole, and everyone else gets to get the overflow of that emotion, the overflow of your life, not your essence and who you need to, what you need to be, your lifeblood. They don't get to have that. You get to give blood willingly and give it away if you want, but that's after you're full and whole. You're not laying there half dead because they've almost drained the entire life out of you. So I love that for you. Right, then the last card we're going to pull is for the last month and kind of what's moving into your next journey. So we're always on a continuous journey. And for this, we're going to pull one card from the Secret Language of Light Oracle. And just see what the final message is the Creator has for you for this reading. All right, Creator, what's the final message? Okay. They say they just want this top one here. Well, they also have let go. So we're going to keep that one here. We're only going to read from this one here, but this is about letting go of what no longer serves you any longer, because they definitely wanted to reiterate that there's some of these things that need to fall away with this tower, and that is okay to let that go. So you have permission. This is like your permission slip here. And this is like the Ace of Swords, which is where you cut the ties that no longer serve you. So this is authentic truth. Discover your truth and let others find theirs. So the truth will set you free, so long as you recognize there is more than one truth, and that the answers you seek exist beyond the beliefs you hold now, like we talked about, new beliefs, right? There are many truths in this world. You don't have to believe them all, just focus on what resonates with you. If you must convince yourself of your beliefs, they are not your truth. Your truth will always fulfill and satisfy. It is unconditional, meaning conditions don't have to change for you to live and feel your truth. There is no right or wrong, right? There's no right or wrong. But there is cause and effect, or action and reaction. Master yourself, not someone else's processes. When you change your beliefs, your life changes to match it. To do this, you must be aware of how you feel and practice focusing on what makes your heart sing, not shrink. When you align with your truth, you will flow, feel excited, and believe an authentic life is possible. If it is not your truth, you will resist and find it hard to commit, and you'll feel indecisive. These cards also have inspired reflections and actions. There's 3 of them. I'll read them, and whatever you feel resonates with you, you can look at over these 6 months. So number 1 is be aware of your feelings and notice how it feels to be angry, loving, or hurt. Number 2, as you move through your day, notice what gives you a glow of happiness. Number 3, do things that feel truthful. If there's something you don't want to do and you must do it, find a way to connect it to your truth. Find a way that doesn't feel like a compromise. If you're not okay with the compromise, it may breed resentment and become a poison to you, like we talked about, right? Codependency. And they give you journal work too, so if you feel so led, it says picture yourself living your truth and not compromising. Write down 3 words that represent your truth and another 3 words that represent freedom. That is a great reflection that you can do over those 6 months. And I love at the end of this, it's like you get to be your authentic self instead of trying to be who you think everyone else wants you to be. But just know as you go through this 6-month adventure that every second of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And I love you too. Have a great 6-month adventure. We'll talk to you soon. You take care. And if you chose reading number 2, which is the blue hot air balloon, then this is the reading for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off by pulling a card that's going to represent the first month of your journey, and it's going to be kind of showing us what you've been through coming into this adventure and the first month. And for that, we're going to pull a card here from the Enchanted Map Oracle to see what the Creator would like you to know, oh my Taurians. All right, Creator, what do you want those that chose reading number 2 to know? Okay, right there. So you've got unexpected visitors, and that's card number 41. So what I love about this is you're coming from a place where you either had these individuals that came into your life unexpectedly, of course, so out of the blue, either people from your past or new people that came in. And I really feel that as they came in, a lot of them kind of moved on very quickly as well. So it's almost like this hit and run. Like, I don't know why I just had this flashback from the movie Mrs. Doubtfire, where they had the drive-by fruiting where, Robin Williams dressed up threw fruit at Pierce Brosnan. and so it's like this little psh, and you're like, what just happened? Excuse me. So we'll read from the book here as well. So it says, if you expect the unexpected, you'll be prepared for miracles. Detours, surprises, and paradigm shifts. Expect the unexpected. No matter how detailed your plans are and how clear you believe the road ahead to be, there are times when the best plans are waylaid by unforeseen circumstances. At first, detours may seem inconvenient, but a surprise turn of events signals that the adventure of life is beginning to get interesting. So this whole adventure, right? No one can plan for synchronicity, for fate and destiny to meet, except Spirit, who knows what you can't comprehend for now. Life is full of surprises, so stay on your toes. Enjoy this exciting new adventure you weren't expecting. There's a plan for your life that may not match up with your agenda. Isn't that the truth? But a great message comes with that, is that life unfolds for you. Life doesn't happen to you. It says Spirit is the one who's in control of your adventure, the events that come in. But we are the ones that asked for it before we came down here. We co-create our life. We're like, okay, this is when we're going to be born, and this is when we're going to leave the planet. I'm in this human bodysuit, and these are the events that I would like to have happen as I go through those. And so the Creator and all of the support team behind them, make sure that all these things unfold for us in our life. And so even though they're unexpected for us here, because we've veiled our connection to our higher self for a time, everything that unfolds is something we've asked for. We just don't remember it, and that's why it feels unexpected. But just know that it's planned, even though it feels unexpected to us. We're also going to pull some cards here from the Light Seers deck and just get some clarification, validation, or new information on this first month here. Creator, what else do you want the Taurians to know that chose reading number 2 for their first month? What else? Okay. Excuse me. Grab a quick drink of water here. Here we go. So you got the Hermit. And this is, here's your adventure. Here's the journey. And here, what I love about the way they interpret these cards here is the Hermit's not walking along here. In fact, here's the lamp over here that normally guides the path, but you've rised above it and you're connecting to your inner light. You see how the light is emanating from the individual there. That's you that is risen to get a new viewpoint above your path because you've searched and found your inner light, your inner connection to who you really are. So what's beautiful is we were talking about all this stuff feeling unexpected because you've veiled your connection to your higher self for a point in your life. But this is about an awakening for you because you're realizing that everything's happening for a reason and you're opening up that phone line to your higher self, to the Creator, to Spirit, Holy Spirit, your angels, your guardian angels, your spirit guides, your loved ones on the other side, your ancestors. There's this huge sea of individuals of unconditional love and light, light that bring you beautiful information and beautiful awareness from that higher perspective. And that's what this is about here, is you're realizing that what you've been through in the past and what you're currently going through in this month, it's just like you're getting these ahas about how they've all been planned, and you're actually seeing some things from your past, why they happened and who they've made you today. And here you go. So Ace of Swords, you see the bright light coming into your mind, understanding this journey on this stairwell that you've had, that you've, like, why have I repeated stuff? And it's like, we haven't necessarily repeated it. Yes, you feel like you've gone in circles, but it was an upward spiral. You always were at a different place with different awareness as you repeated different events that seem similar in your life. But the swords are all about your thoughts, your mentalities, your beliefs. So with this bright light shining into your brain, into your mind, into those beliefs, you're seeing things from a whole new way, and you're getting this new mindset that's coming in for you. Here you go, because you got the Tower. So, the Tower is about the old ways. The old Tower is being destroyed and being deconstructed. And then, here's the butterflies with transformation, the squirrel finding the nuggets that it's hidden, the magical nuggets that are going to bring new growth and new awareness into your life. And that's all what this is about here, is these old ways of thinking, these old beliefs that are falling away. So this is very resonant with each other here. Five of Wands. Again, wands are about your spirit. It's about your drive, about the spark within you. And so you can be anywhere along these, but it's about that you're moving to a new stage in your spiritual inner growth. And, you're connecting and reaching toward the light. And no matter where you're at on this path, whether you feel like you're down here or barely hanging on or going up to the next step or solidly reaching too soon, or you're like, I'm at the top of my game. Whatever your spiritual path has been, and again, this is a 4-1, which is a 5, which comes to here. So this is about, I feel like there's, all these unexpected visitors are coming in for you as well that are showing you in multiple ways how you can expand your inner spiritual life, your inner true you, and connect you more with your authentic self. So, that happens, like I was saying, in different ways, because some people, of course, can be someone who has gone through this specific path in your life. It's like they've taken that class already. You're about to enter that class, and they're like, hey, just some advice. when I went through the class, these things helped me. And you're like, oh, wow, thank you. So people that have been through it, you can glean from their knowledge and their, connections, right? There's also people that are like, that teach you what not to do by seeing what they went through, right? So the positive influence, and then you can call it a negative influence, but it's still positive for you by those that had such devastating situations happen to you. You're like, note to self, don't do that. And here you go. And people are like, oh, no, the devil. But what this represents is he offers to you knowledge about what is, like this tower. It's like what can be removed from your life, what no longer is serving you. So, the tower and the devil kind of have similar energies in that the tower will start giving us messages. This is no longer serving you. It can be taken out. And it's a subtle, quiet message. And then it gets a little louder saying, hey, here's something that no longer serves you that can be taken out. Okay, it's still a little louder, but it's still a suggestion. And then it gets louder and louder until eventually it gets to the point where we asked, like I was talking about the scheme of all these events in our life. We're like, tell me here, and I can always opt to make the change on my own before we get to this lightning bolt where it blasts me out of the tower and destroys the tower. So it's like, we get all these messages that get louder and louder and louder. And if we don't heed those, that's okay. There's no judgment. We just get to this tower experience where it blasts us out of that tower and it forces that change to happen in our life. And the devil works a little bit with that last energy, because the devil, and this is our shadow, and it brings to our face those things, and it's not subtle. It's like, here, do you see this is what's impacting you? And you're like, oh my God. And that's what happens with these unexpected visitors, is they are this messenger that brings this to your face of, okay, I see that clearly now, because I got this message very abruptly and in my face from so many sources, and it's like, okay, it's time for the tower. And so that's just what that means for you there. So don't be afraid of this. This is a great, even though it's unexpected, it's planned, and it's for you because of the transition that's going to happen because of it. It's going to bring you freedom. A lot of freedom is what I hear. And next we're going to look at the next 2 months here. And we're going to pull a card here first from the Art of Manifestation Oracle. All right, Creator, what do you want them to know about the next 2 months, please? No, Oratorians that chose option number 2. So if you hear our garbage man coming, it's garbage day. What can be taken out and let go? Recycle. All right, Creator. They say be patient. Patience is evidently going to be something for your next 2 months here, is just, allow those things to unfold that come. Don't force people to leave or to stay. They will come and go according to plan. And allow yourself to receive. Number 1, I love that open hands there. And I'll let you see that and then read it where I can see it more clearly in my face here. So it says, one of the greatest blocks is our ability to manifest our greatest, let me re-say that. One of the greatest blocks in our ability to manifest our greatest desires is an inability to allow ourselves to receive. This card asks that you take some time to identify any inner beliefs, perceptions, and attitudes that stop you from receiving, and one by one remove these resistances. So yeah, definitely with this unexpected visitors and with this change here, the Ace of Swords, with change of mindsets and with this new light that's being shown on your life, and with letting these things go, this is what allows you to understand the blocks that you've been having about these beliefs about your unworthiness, and these beliefs about that you don't deserve to have certain things in your life. And so this is about allowing yourself to receive. We're going to get some additional clarification on that with these everyday tarot. So we'll get some more clarity around that. Hey, Creator, what else do you want them to know about that there? Okay, there. What else? Okay, that one too. Okay, any others? Last pass. Nope, not those. Okay, so it's these here. So let's... And you got the Queen of Pentacles, and how beautiful that is about receiving, because the Pentacles are all about the external world and about our abundance. The Queen of Pentacles, this is like Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So about nurturing yourself, about your worth, about your willing to, and that you have that abundance. You have the bunny rabbit in this one. So the bunny rabbit is all about new birth, things coming into your life, abundance. So definitely it's about receiving. A lot of times you'll see this kind of resembles the Empress in the major arcana, which is Mother Nature, and about, she's usually pregnant, so it's about birth of new things. And of course, the rabbit multiplying like rabbits. So, you have all this abundance that's coming into your life. And it's a great message along with this about as you remove those blocks and those beliefs that are making themselves known in this month, it allows over these 2 months for things just to expand and grow within you, whether it is relationships or financial or possessions or just that inner feeling of abundance too, because with the Queen, that's about the emotional side of things as well, because the feminine energy brings the emotional side. And you got the Two of Swords. So swords are all about decisions, about mindsets, thoughts, beliefs. And I like this because, when it's talking about your blocks, when we have these choices to make within ourselves, am I worthy or am I not? And I like these cards because she's blindfolded, which, and then you see the water behind, which that's about the emotional piece. That's about, because water is emotions, and the blinding is blinding what you see with your own eyes, and trusting your heart and your intuition, moving within, instead of, these thoughts and beliefs. The Ace of Swords here, those thoughts and beliefs. The Two of Swords brings you to this point where you get to decide what you believe. You get to decide which way you want to go. It's, the moon here too is pointing you to look inward, look to your heart, not to your mind. So in the decisions that you make, get out of the mind and get into your heart. Ten of Wands. So this is like sheer exhaustion. You've carried so much for so long, you're ready to let go. And this wands represent like your spiritual side, but also represent your drive, your spark, your ambition. And you've just maintained so much for so long that all this energy that you've invested in maintaining these old beliefs like I said, are just ultimately have left you to this exhausted point where you just feel you have no drive and nothing left on there. Yeah. And it's okay, because here you have the Queen of Pentacles and now you have the King of Pentacles. So, definitely it's about receiving. The King of Pentacles is more about, the masculine side of the coin, where the feminine is about the emotions. This is about the mind. So it's changing your mindset about, your abundance and your ability to receive it, and your worth, your worthiness of receiving it. So yeah, these 2 months are all about your worth. You're revisiting your worth. You're changing your mentality about your worth, both your emotions and your mind. So it's a big transitional month, a lot like we talked about with the Tower, with the butterfly. You're definitely coming up with a new viewpoints on how you feel about yourself and your ability to receive all that worthiness. So we're going to move on to the next 2 months here. And for this, we're going to look at the energy oracle cards and see what the overall theme or what the Creator wants you to know about the next 2 months. Creator, what do you want those to know for the next 2 months, please? You got the Angel of Love. That's number 49. So beautiful, beautiful picture here. So I really feel a lot of self-love coming in, because you can only love others to the extent that you love yourself, and you can only accept love from others to the extent that you love yourself. So this whole worth and allowing yourself to receive moves over into the lovability you feel you have. And this talks about tender connections. So this beautiful angel comes with roses in her hair and rose-colored wings. She holds a rose quartz heart, radiating tender and loving vibrations, bringing you compassion and affection. If you're looking for new love, this angel brings a message of its upcoming approach. Or if you're longing for a deeper, more intimate connection with someone already in your life, she's here to say that far greater tenderness is available to you. And that can be romantic or, just family, friendship, love as well. So just know that it doesn't have to be, that romantic, partner thing. It can be your friendships with others, your friendships with your family. It says, either way, remember that your first intention for tenderness must be directed inward, and the compassion that you demonstrate toward yourself will influence the energetic potential of these events in a significant way. The angel of love is smiling on you and forging connections in their energetic realm. So yeah, definitely it's about connecting to your inner love, and that just flows out of you to your outside world and just transforms your entire world out there. And we're going to pull some more cards here from the Everyday Tarot just to get some clarification here. One more time. All right, Creator, what else do you want them to know about the next 2 months, please? Sorry if you hear the truck coming by again. We've got trash and recycle on the same day this week, so they both combine separate trucks. It's like the drive-by fruiting I was talking about. All right, Critter, what else here? Okay, these 2. Oop, 3. Okay. All right. So you've got the 6 of Cups, and this represents looking back, backwards. So this could be, when I talked about unexpected visitors, about people of the past coming forward then this would represent that. So it's either memories of people from the past, or actually there's people coming in to your life during these 2 months from the past for you to revisit the relationships that you had. And what's great is that with these unexpected visitors and this new mindsets that you get, when they come back into your life, again, you're going to have a different perspective of your what you will allow into your life. And so you don't have to accept old people back into it that you don't want to. You're never forced to. But if they're coming back into your life, they're coming back for a reason, for you to look back at your belief about yourself, so you can revisit memories and understand it from a more self-loving perspective, and realize, a lot of those actions were not intentional towards you. They were just acting out of their own fears of lovability, and you just happened to be nearby and get hit by it. Well, you got the Two of Cups. A lot of times this can represent a relationship or, new love. So again, new type of love here coming in. For me, there's a special meaning with the with Spirit and I, is that this represents really reconnecting to your higher self, connecting to that, we were talking about here, about seeing with that hermit, seeing yourself from that higher perspective, from that higher viewpoint. So I really feel it's important for you to get that inner love, because as these individuals come in, you do have this ability to love them more and receive love more than you did in the past from them. And then you've got the Death card. So don't fear this. This is about, like a lot of the Tower, it's about death and rebirth. So it's about new things happening, new things coming for you, because you're letting old things go, and new points in relationships, like I talked about. It's like this new revitalization, this new activity that happens. And for some of you, because this is a general reading, of course, this is about, especially looking back over your past, there's people who are no longer here on this earth, and just know that, with this messaging that came during this month, is you do have the ability to connect with them, to hear from them from the other side. It's just about getting quiet and being aware, looking for the signs, asking for the signs, and they definitely will bring that for you, because they do want to always communicate and talk with you. Yep. Here you go. The World. This is endings and new beginnings as well. So really reinforcing that it's happening for you, that you go through these circles and cycles along, like this Ace of Swords, where it's a spiral. You come to an ending, you come to a new beginning. Some point in your life there, and that is great. And here you go. Eight of Cups. So these are the emotions and things that you've experienced in your past, and you're ready to move on and let things go that no longer serve you. And so you're willingly moving away from things that you don't want in your life anymore, and that's okay. And you have permission to do that, because it's your life to live. And if you're investing a lot of energy in things that no longer are helping you to move along in your journey, you will know. I mean, you know what you want to let go of, and it's okay to let go of it. And then you got the 10 of Pentacles. This is like the legacy card, which for me, for this one, again, it means so much abundance for you, King of Pentacles and that. So your abundance continues. But for me, this also means, with it being a legacy card, is it's about cutting. You get to be the one that breaks the chains that have been passed down from generation to generation. You get to be the one that ends that cycle that's been continuing over and over and over again. All right, and then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from the Secret Language of Light, and that's going to represent what you end up at the end of this last month, and what takes you into your next journey. I'm going to try to hurry here. There's only 4 minutes left on this battery. It's draining fast. So if it stops, just know I'll restart it here. All right, Creator, what else would you like them to know for their final message, please? You got Ask Your Soul, number 16. It says, wise questions create wise answers. Something you've asked for will soon turn up in your life. Every time you request something, you plant a seed in your quantum field or vibrational reality where it begins to grow and move toward you. This is how we create and expand consciousness. Asking is the first step in any creation. It only needs to be about 10% of the creative process, but somehow most of us make it about 90%. If we don't see any evidence our desires are coming into existence, we keep asking. This holds us in a place where the answers can't be heard. What you desire is on its way. You need only ask once. It doesn't matter whether this is out loud or in your mind, because the universe interprets vibrations, not words. And this has inspired reflections and actions. There's 3 of them, whichever one resonates with you. It says, allow yourself to dream about the kind of life you desire and then write down your dream. Number 2 is try sprouting seeds to add to your salads and cooking. They are nutritious, delicious, and full of life force. And number 3, it says, listen to what you talk about. What seeds are you sowing for your future life? It also has journal work. So if you feel so inclined, it says draw or write about a vision for your future. Then fast forward 20, 30, or 40 years and draw or write about how you experienced this vision and what it felt like. So beautiful ending, because it's really taking you into a place where you know you can dream and you can ask for what you're wanting from your authentic soul here. So just as you know, you go throughout this 6 months that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. Have a great adventure over this next 6 months. We'll talk to you soon. You take care. All right, my Taurians, and if you chose reading number 3, the red hot air balloon, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here. It's going to represent like what you're coming in from, and like your first month, what your the Creator would like you to know about that situation or this point in your life. And for that, we're going to pull a card here from the Enchanted Map Oracle. And we will see what the Creator has to say for you. All right, Creator, what would you like those that chose reading number 3 to know for our Taurians? All right, there we go. Right off the bat, and you got commitment. Number 36. Don't run. You know, it does show, 2 hands coming together, but this can also mean not just a commitment to individuals, but I really feel more so this is a commitment to yourself, a commitment to your dreams, to your path, to your inner journey, because that's what's going to allow you to feel, I think the word that's coming to me is safe. That's going to make you feel safe to allow others to commit to you and for you to commit to others. Where you've come from and what's going into this is because of the betrayals, because of the disappointments, because of, all those extreme expectations where maybe you let other people down because you weren't living up to their high standard of who they thought you were supposed to be, all that wonderful journey that we get to experience here as humans. But that it's made you very hesitant to allow that stuff to come in, or to, for you to make those commitments because you're fearing failing other people, and you're fearing that they will fail you once again. And what this does is this journey is going to allow you, you see all the hearts here. This is about finding your self-love first. And because you can only accept love as much as you love yourself, and you can only give love to the extent that you love yourself. So, as you work on that inner love, that connection to the creator of all things who loves you unconditionally, you transform and let that be the foundation of your worth, which is a stable, love that never leaves you because it's unconditional. There's nothing you can do to lose it, nothing you can do to gain more of it. So when that becomes this stable force for you, then everything else is extra. So that commitment to other people or their commitment to you isn't life altering, and to the extent that it's going to be devastating if any of that happens, or if that person is or is not in your life. So it changes from I need you to I want you in my life. And it takes a lot of the pressure away. You don't try to be someone you're not. You don't expect them to be someone they're not, because you're getting what you need from within, and you get what you want from the outside. And not that you don't want this love on the inside, you need and want this, but that's what keeps you whole. That's what keeps you, it's like the water and the air that keeps you alive, the nourishment that keeps you just content with life, and everything else is just like, wow, it's above and beyond and just extra. I'll also read from the book here to see what additional messages there might be here for you. And it says, a true commitment is a responsibility of the heart, mind, body, and soul. And this is a good time to make one. Excuse me. It says, partnerships formed at this time are harmonious and powerful. The commitment card also indicates the natural evolution of a relationship from its inception to a literal or metaphorical marriage. Excuse me. At the very least, there is a promise of fulfillment in some form. However, you must be conscious of what you're committing to. Be clear about the nature of your commitment and your responsibility to it. Others are more willing to enter into partnership at this time. Remember that your partnership with Spirit and the highest version of your own self will engage the highest self in another. So that's a good, clear message there. No apologies. Let me just take a quick sip of coffee here. All right, thank you. So, really it talks about as you connect to your higher self and, of course, the higher realm, and realizing who you really are, this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love, not just this human character you're playing, you're actually the actor, the huge actor behind it. And as you become more aware of that, by connecting to that self-love inside, then you're able to connect to the higher person, the actor behind the character that you're interacting with, and you see something more. You look beyond all the human character actions that are happening and realizing, okay, this is just a movie that's not personal toward me. They're just, acting out their drama, and I get to choose how I either react to that as that human character or respond to that with unconditional love as my higher self. And so that just really changes this whole just cycle, the whole scenario, the type of relationship that you have. So I love that for you. We're also going to pull some cards here from the Light Seers deck and just get some clarification, validation, or new information on this first month book. So it's a general reading, of course, so everyone's at a different, place in their journey of commitment with another individual. You could have just met someone, could have just ended a relationship with someone, could be in the middle of a relationship with someone, and the relationship's going to another level, or it's headed in a different direction. Of course, relationships are one of the most beautiful journeys that we have in this realm. The Course in Miracles, I love how they put, relationships are designed to teach us unconditional love and patience. And I'm like, you speak the truth. All right, so Creator, what else do you want our Taurians know that picked reading number 3 for their first month, please. Oh, okay, there we go. Wow. Okay, no, not all those. Okay. Nope. You said just that one. These other ones. Okay, any others? Just those there. Okay. So let's put these in order how they came out. And yep. Okay. So 2 of Cups. This is so perfect for what we were talking about with commitment. So, 2 interpretations of this. One, the standard interpretation is you're going to find romance, I mean, it's almost the exact, 2 hands coming together here, 2 hands coming together here. So, it's definitely possibility of you're going to have this new relationship that's going to come in, and it can be not romantic. It can be like a special friend coming in, or a new relationship with a family member, something along those lines as well. But the other interpretation of this, which is more what my spirit guides and the Creator have this mean for me, is this is the getting to know yourself, the 2 sides of yourself, like I was talking about the human character, joining up with your higher self and the being that you really are. So it's the awareness that comes, and the battle stops because you can see how they're joining hands. It's no longer ego, human fighting against spirit. It's like, hey, I came down here to experience you as this human form, and you're my shadow, yeah, but I don't have to destroy you. You're like my tour guide. You're something I created. You're a part of me, and I want to join and interact with you together and experience this life. And so you get to go through life realizing you're more than this human bodysuit. And then it just changes your whole journey because it's more peaceful, harmonious, and you see things more clearly and more from a place of unconditional love. So that's a perfect card for that there. Page of Pentacles. Pentacles is about your outside world, your human body, that type of thing. And the page is about new things coming. So really, I feel like it's going to be this new type of relationship that's coming both for yourself and for others. And you can see on his bottom of his foot, there's the root, and the roots come out here on the bottom. And so it's really about being grounded, which you being a Taurus, you're an earth sign. So you really can relate and easily ground yourself because it's part of your nature. And so getting out of nature, doing what you need to do to feel grounded and come to center is an important thing. And I love how in this card, they are standing in the middle of this design here. And I kind of look at it as being in the eye of the storm. And so it's about coming to yourself, and just embracing, like they're embracing this pentacle here. Just embrace yourself, embrace your worth outside of anything having to do with the outside world. And it comes back to that message of finding your worth from within, finding your worth from things that are not related to the outside world, with who you're with, what positions you're in, or opportunities, circumstances you're in, or things that you own or possess. All of that is unstable. All of that is temporary, not eternal. So when you define yourself by those things, then you're unstable. When you define yourself by this inner love, this unconditional, stable, eternal love from the Creator, then that's when you have that stability in your worth. Yeah. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles. So this shows you mastering that self-worth because it's the Queen. It's the feminine side, so it's very much full of emotion. So you're feeling emotionally secure, emotionally stable in your own worth. I also love this represents for me like Mother Nature, and you can see how calm, it's fruitful, it's abundance, and I feel like to get grounded, nature is a huge thing for you, just to get away from it all, get away from all the demands, all those opinions, and so get away from social media and the news, all those things that are just really noisy for you right now. It's about getting away during this month, even just taking a month break where maybe you just limit yourself on how much you do it. I know sometimes going cold turkey off of social media is like, no way, but it's like, okay, I'm only gonna look at it for an hour between 4 and 5, and then after dinner, nothing. I'm going to spend time, with friends or family, or going to do this for a walk, or journaling, or reading, something else where you don't check it. Excuse me. And then the Four of Swords. So swords is all about the mind, the thoughts, your beliefs, all that. And what I love about the Four of Swords is all these prickly thoughts, you're resting. So you're getting out of your mind, you're letting those thoughts not have as much impact on you. And you see this heart is wrapped around each one of those. And so all those thoughts, this is all about this unconditional love here. You're wrapping those thoughts and beliefs in unconditional love, which allows them to be less prickly. It's like, if you ever have something that's pointy and they have like a cork or something that goes on the end of it, so it's blunt, so it doesn't hurt anyone. That's what that is doing for these prickly beliefs and thoughts that you've had before, that you're bringing in around commitment and around your worth. So it's a really beautiful month of it's like you're coming to these conclusions and going, you know what, I am lovable, and let me focus on that for a month, and I'm going to take time for me. If you've been dating and you're not with someone, or you just ended a relationship, it's like, it's time for you. It's time to take a break from all that external interaction to spend time for you. All right. And then next, we're going to look at the next 2 months. And for that, we're going to pull a card here from the Manifestation of Oracle. I'm sorry, I don't think I said that correctly. It's the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. And we'll see what the Creator wants you to know about the next 2 months after this. What would you like them to know about the next 2 months for those that chose reading number 3? For Taurians? Wow, okay, there we go. Oh my gosh. They got collaborate. So here's more hands coming together. Hands coming together, hands coming together, hands coming together. And so the message here, and I'll read this when I can see it more clearly, but I'll put that up there for you. It says, sometimes we're called to develop our self-sufficiency, and this can be a valuable road to travel in the discovery of our unique and individual gifts. So that's like this month. And then these next 2 months, it says, but this is not the same as trying to do everything yourself all of the time. This is not a time to go it alone. It's time to unite and work with others. So this is a month where you do move outside of this 1 month of, I need this time to get grounded in who I am. And then you're like, okay, now the floodgates open, individuals come in, and you begin working with others. Now, this one doesn't look as romantical as these others did. So this is more, it looks like little kids with holding elderly hands. So it's about all ages and all sorts of people that are coming in. And it's a beautiful thing, because when you realize love is love is love, how we love, it's the same love for everyone, but the attraction is what makes an intimate relationship different. We're physically attracted to someone, but we love everyone the same. And when we realize that, when you find this self-love and you realize, oh, okay, our inner love, we love everyone the same. Our conditional outer love from the human character, that one depends on the script and the drama, if you so say, if that makes sense. All right, and then we're going to get clarification on this one by pulling some cards here from the Everyday Tarot. So, but this collaboration, it's definitely mirrors coming in to show you how you feel about yourself and to put everything you've learned into practice. And so it'll start off a little bit slow, and then like I'd say probably the first 2 weeks of the first month is what I'm feeling. I know this is a general reading, so it's going to vary by individual, but I really feel for most of you, it's like the first 2 weeks are going to slow. It's like, here's a couple people, and then it just starts to exponentially become more social for you for the next 6 weeks or so. All right, Creator, what else do you want them to know about this second month here? Second 2 months. Okay. That one. What else? That one and that one. Okay, what else? Those two. Okay, those are it. Let me just reverse these. So you have the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is all about the unknown. It's very much the feminine energy, emotional, the deep emotions, the unknown, the subconscious. So this is still a reminder that as you go into this, not to lose yourself. And, so all this internal work that you've done, all these subconscious things you're bringing into your conscious world, your awareness of you keep that, and you're actually, and this is also an indication that your intuition's going to be high, your gut feelings are going to be high, and to trust that as you go into these situations, that it's okay, that if, as you get all these different opportunities of interactions with people, that you're going to be able to go, you know what? This one I'm only going to let in this far because I'm sensing some things that I need to keep that boundary for that character. Others, you're like, okay, yep, I'm letting them in, maybe all the way into my inner circle. They made it past all these other circles of barriers, but trust your intuition, trust your heart, trust your gut. And then you have the Page of Cups. So this is about new love, new feelings of love. And, again, it doesn't have to be romantical. It's just you're expanding the love that you have. Cups are all about your emotions. The Page is about it's kind of like this childlike emotion, this childlike love, where we get back to where we were at before we got influenced by adults and society and everything else telling us, no, you need to stay within this box instead of just loving unconditionally. So this is a return to that kind of feeling instead of, conditional, no, you're a bad girl when you don't do this, or you're a bad boy when you don't do this, or you're a good boy when you do this, you're a good girl when you do this. That's the conditioning we get of praise and punishment that starts influencing our worth and our belief about our own lovability. So this is returning back to that, letting people be who they are, but it doesn't mean that you have to let them come into your life. If it's someone that isn't acting where you feel safe, you have all right to say, this is as far as I'm living in all my life. Maybe I just chat with them, hang out with them once a month instead of every weekend. But this one where I feel love and light and everything from, I'm going to hang out with them more often. And that is your choice on what you want to do. So you get to choose for your life. And then you got the Empress here, which is very much like the Queen of Pentacles energy. It's about birthing, creativity. She's very much emotional and very much Mother Nature. So it's still important for you to stay grounded during this time. Still take your own time away. You don't have to be as alone to yourself as these months, but it's still important to keep yourself and your nurturing and self-care a priority in your life. So schedule time for you, schedule a date for yourself where you go get a coffee and read a book by a pond, or whatever it is that helps you maintain that self-love and self-care. You do that and continue that for those 2 months. And then got the Knight of Cups. So Cups, again, is all about the emotions. This is like romantical expression. It can be romantic expression of love or just expression of love, putting love into action. So it's not about, again, becoming aware of this and sitting with it. It's about putting it into practice. So that's basically that there. And the Five of Swords. So this one, because swords are all about your thoughts, your beliefs, your attitudes, and you can see this person walking away. Normally, on a lot of tarot, they'll have, you standing here, 2 people leaving, their swords on the ground, and you beat the bohemies out of them, and you won the battle, but you lost the war. It's kind of like this message of, would you rather be right, or would you rather have love and a relationship and interactions with others? So that's kind of this message of, as you go through and put this love into action, that you allow others to be, who they are, express who they are, express their opinions, and you can be objective and go, oh, okay, I haven't thought of it that way. I'm going to have to, meditate on that. But yeah, I'm going to have to, kind of think about that. You don't have to go, oh, no, you're wrong because of this, and this, and this, and my truth is greater and better than your truth. Because what does that end up? Someone gets their feelings hurt and steps away and creates a wall, right? Whereas we're like, you know what? I can see where you're coming from, and gives me something to think about. And it doesn't mean that you take on everything from everyone else as your own beliefs, because you get to choose what your thoughts and beliefs in your life is. But it doesn't mean that you have to make them, feel like this person that's walking away defeated because you were very efficient at destroying their personal belief and their opinion. All right. The next 2 months is what we're going to look at here. And for that, we're going to pull an energy oracle card. Let's see what the creator has to say about that. All right, creator, what else would you like them to know about this next 2 months, please? Okay. Taurians that chose reading number 3, the red hot air balloon. Okay, there we go. You got number 39, which is the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. And the 5th chakra is the throat chakra. You can see, like at his throat there, it has that little glowing there, and he's holding his horn and the blue orb, but the throat chakra is what's being activated there. And so that is about speaking your truth, speaking, unconditional love. It's about the outward action from the, from how you're expressing it out to the world. You can see that the throat chakra, if he held up his arms straight out, they would be here too. And that's all about the actions of your arms too. So not only how you, maybe type on social media, text, or, post on social media, how you communicate through your hands, how you act through your hands and your arms, and how you voice yourself. These next 2 months is a focus on, like this Knight of Cups is putting your love into action. This is about expressing that unconditional love to the world. So it's more specific, more energized, that This is like you learn here, you put it into practice here, and here you're just mastering it, and you're just sending out great love to the world through your actions and through your voice. And this book says, and I apologize that I keep hacking up a little bit. It's the allergy season, and I haven't talked a lot today, so now it's coming up. So I apologize that you have to hear that. So this is about self-expression and speaking your truth. Gabriel holds his trumpet in one hand, making noise, sound, and a beautiful orb of blue light in the other. He's sending powerful energy to your throat center, acknowledging your power to communicate and your readiness to do so. This angel opens you up to truthful expression, both within yourself and others. You may have had trouble with expressing emotions and ideas in the past, but Gabriel is here to tell you that your soul longs to take this leap now. Be aware that true communication includes how you speak to yourself, so never deny your profound, integral value. Speak up for yourself. Write in your journal. Let your words flow. Now is the time to express yourself freely and fully, and the universe always honors your choice to do so. This card also indicates that a communication project is coming, or a time of heightened communication with spirit and telepathy with others. So we talked about in here about your intuition with this high priestess. It continues and grows because the more of that energy that comes in, it allows you to express it even more, and you expand your connection, because unconditional love is the frequency at which the other side speaks. All those beings of unconditional love and light, the Creator, Holy Spirit and Spirit, your guardian angels and spirit guides, your loved ones who've passed and gone to the other side, your ancestors that were around before you even came here. There's this whole slew of beings of unconditional love and light that opens up communication to. And the affirmation for this card is, my throat chakra is open to its perfect, healthy state, spinning with the beautiful energy of freedom and self-empowerment. I'm free to express myself in every way. And that is beautiful. I really just love how this is unfolded and how you're progressing with it. But this is the time. So after this month and these 2 months, so 3 months, you're moving into month number 4 and 5. You just feel this comfortability. And we talked about safety before. You just feel safe communicating your needs, talking openly, not hiding out of fear how you really feel, or I fear what they're feeling and what's happened next and what is really going on. You just feel this place to be able to be yourself and express yourself and ask. And if people get, oh, I can't believe you asked me that, of course I love you. It's like, hey, calm down, I just want this for me and I feel I can do that. And then they're like, wow. And you empower others by expressing your self-empowerment, because you break that mold of the supposed to's and shoulds and need to's, especially with the relationship stuff. And you're like, yeah, there's so much more than to try to stay within all the rules of expectations around friendships, relationships, and everything else. You get to expand into new territory. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Taurians to know about these 2 months, please? Okay, that one, and that one, and that one. And that one. Any others? Last pass. Okay, that is it. And you got the Two of Swords. So this is, the swords are about the mind, the beliefs, that type of thing like we talked about. And this is about making choices, that you have choices to make. And what's great is that for me, you see the water behind here. And so that's the emotions of water. And for me with the moon here, it really is a message of kind of the high priestess, and it's, like this mentioned, trusting your intuition. So in making the decisions, you see how our eyes are blindfolded. It's not about making decisions based on what you see with your physical eyes, but what you see with your spiritual eyes, with your third eye, with your gut, with your intuition, trusting your heart in making the decisions, that it's no longer about all these beliefs and expectations and supposed tos and shoulds and all that in your head. You get to move and make decisions based on your intuition and your heart. And you got the King of Swords, which is so excellent to come after this one, because the King of Swords, again, is the master of his mind, and how he mastered it. And I love how they do this here, because this looks like, even though it's a throne, it looks like a cup, which how he balanced and mastered his mind, and getting out of his mind is he balanced it with his emotions. He balanced it with the cups. And you see how there's still things that he maintains, his beliefs, because he's holding onto a sword, but his hand is extended outward, saying that he's open to new thoughts, new beliefs, new ways of doing things. And so that is perfect for this step of your journey here. And you have the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is the only knight out of the 4 in the deck that isn't about action, 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 go, 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 go. It's about planting your seeds, doing the work of the harvest, which is, the last harvest, you took the fruit from it. I like using the example of corn, because you have the corn husks that you harvest, that's where all the corn is, and then you have the stalks left over, which you're like, okay, they don't come back like trees and grow more corn the next year. You take all those out, you till the ground, you put whatever nutrients you want into it, and then you plant the new seeds, and then you watch it grow. And so all this is about the harvesting you've done, you're putting the nutrients into the ground, and you're planting new seeds, and you're watching them grow, and you're just not worried about the timing of things, like, okay, by this point we should be dating exclusively, or be engaged, or be married, or be blah, 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 blah. All those are expectations. And if you keep those at zero and just enjoy the moments and enjoy the process and the journey, it's so much more enjoyable than putting a time frame on things, because that puts that pressure, and it's a judgment of the relationship isn't where it should be. It's like, what? It's exactly where it should be, because it's unfolding perfectly, and you get to just enjoy yourself for who you are, and you get to enjoy them for who they are. Yeah. Because the 8 of Swords, this is what binds you, all your thoughts and your beliefs and your expectations. That's what constricts you. That's what blinds you. That's what makes you, feel like you're trapped. So all these expectations are what are, putting you in there. But you're the one that puts you in here, which is, I know at first I kind of was angry when I found that out, that I'm the one that has all these beliefs and constricting me. And at first I was like, you got to prove that to me. And then I realized that, yeah, everyone can have their opinion. And when we're children, we just take it on blindly. Like this person, they're blindly taking on all those opinions and all those supposed tos from, parents and teachers and society and movies and friends and peers and, extended family, whatever. We're getting all these expectations that are sent to us, and we're like, okay. And we take them on as who we are and how life is supposed to be. And even some of those are contradictory. And we're like, wait a minute. So with these people, I'm supposed to be this way. With these people, I'm supposed to be this way. With these people, I'm supposed to be this way. But you come to the point in your life where you're like, this aha of, I can take all that stuff and question it all. What do I want to keep for me? And I get to create who I am. And then when other people bring opinions, you can, well, no, it's like swipe left, swipe right, right? You get to accept or deny what comes to you based on your intuition and based on your heart and your gut. So, this is a very, it's an aha moment where you're like, oh my God, so all those emotions I felt and all the way I felt all my life was because I chose these expectations and all these judgments against myself. And you're like, yeah, oh man. But then you suddenly go, oh, wait, because I'm the one that is feeling all of this. I'm the one that chose all that. I'm the one that can choose differently. And so you have that power that comes back to you. And then lastly, we're going to move into this final month here. And this is just where you end up and where you are at before you move into your next adventure, because of course, we're always on a new adventure. So we're just going to pull one card for your final message for this one. And we'll see what the Creator has for you. Sorry. Gotta have my cards straight there. All right, Creator. What is the final message for those that chose reading number 3, please? Okay. Yep, and you got light beans, number 35. I love that picture there. So really, and I'll read from the book here too, but so this connection, when it talked about, you see yourself as this higher being, you get to discover who you really are during this time. It allows you to see that higher being in others, like we talked about. So you get to see through this process, whenever you start to get that agitation and that you fall into the human drama side of things with that other human drama, when you're ready, you can take a deep breath and go, oh, wait, I'm a higher being. Oh, yeah, they're a higher being. And then you see the whole circumstance from a whole new viewpoint, which is all about the connecting to your inner self through all this intuition that it was talking about as well. And then we'll read here. It says, enlightened soul information. So this image depicts a light being. The term light being is used to describe a range of ethereal forms, including guides and angels. They observe your life from a higher perspective, so they can see the most auspicious path for you to create your dreams and desires. Sometimes your light beings may seem to take you down a path fraught with difficulty. However, everything happens for a reason. Just as we know a baby will eventually walk, you will also find your footing and attain your dreams. Your light beings are not here to save you, for that would interfere with your ability to create unique paths and conclusions. They are the keepers of the faith that hold and stream your past, present, and future dreams and desires to your heart. Only you can decide what to do with that information. You can't get it wrong, for your light beings will just show you another way. Beautiful. And then these cards come with an inspired reflections and actions. There's 3 of them, and I'll read them, and if any of those resonate for you, you can look into those over these 3 months. The first one is acknowledge how your soul sees you. Modify your beliefs about yourself in accordance with the way your soul sees you. So that's all about this, right? Number 2, clear your mind of yesterday's dirt to enable a clear communication to your light beings. Meditation is as necessary as a daily shower. Just 5 minutes a day will quiet your mind, calm your body, and allow an unshakable peace to move through you. And number 3, ask for a sign or a feeling that your light beings are around you. And trust me, they will answer you, because they definitely want to assist you on your journey as you go. And as I mentioned, you have a free will. So you do, before you come down here, ask, for certain events to happen in your life, and they have those unfold for you. But while you're down here, you can still, of your free will, ask them to answer questions, to give you guidance, and they're more than willing to do so, but they won't initiate it, because that interferes with your free will. You initiate the contact, and they definitely are waiting, to talk to you. As I usually say sometimes, like, it's like saying, "Hey, would you mind?" "Yes." What do you want?" "Yes, absolutely." "Yes, yes, yes." They don't even wait for you to, finish asking. They're so positively, affirmatively wanting to assist you, that they'll answer like right away for you. And then journal work for this, if you so choose. It says, draw or write about 3 ways you believe you have connected with your light beings. It might be a feeling, a sense, a knowing, or a physical sign. For example, feathers and butterflies are a reminder to feel and be light. So beautiful. Well, Taurians, I think this is going to be an amazing journey for you here. If this reading didn't resonate for you, check out either 1 or 2 or all. And if those don't, I'm sometimes looking at your your rising sign or your moon sign, or even your Venus, if you're looking to really look into the loving part of yourself. Look into that zodiac sign reading, and you might find the answers that you're looking for there. So I wish you all the luck and love as you go through this 6 months, and just know, as you go through this journey here, every moment of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. Having a fantastic 6-month journey, and we'll talk to you soon. You take care.